the Saskatchewan Flax Belt. It is a belt that will be grandmother's belt, I call it, the Saskatchewan Flax Belt. You ever see Kokom when she goes out sometimes and she'll have a really nice big belt that's around that? And like in the old days, like this, and that's like that purple belt of Kokom, of safety. That's something you can also put on your pillow. That's one of my teachings. I'd say put a purple stripe on your pillow. And it says no spirit will be able to entice you or hurt you or bother you when you sleep. That's the same thought, that protection, that purple flax. It's an important plant for our new country, First Nation. We cannot have a country without this plant. It creates linen, 100% linen. And it's good for you Kokums, grandmothers. Let me tell you why. Why it's good for me too. We're equal. So, a grandmother, when she starts having her hot flashes, that is a spirit entering you, Kokom. I get those too. I want to explain to you how those work. So when you get a hot flash, that spirit's entering you and you're just like, oh. And it's like, if you were wearing 100% linen, you wouldn't get those like, because it would just breathe. Because it breathes. All of a sudden those spirits are like, if you had 100% Kokom linen, you would not have that. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to create that industry. And also in the Bible, I talk about these two witnesses wearing sackcloth. Those two witnesses represent two nations, Munyawak and ours, and our white brother, white and brown, two nations. So within these two nations, they're wearing sackcloth, linen. It has to be 100% linen. Grandmothers, when you wear 100% linen, your hot flashes will just be like, oh, it's like, okay, good. They'll stop. That where you're just sweating, it's not nice. I feel that. And I say, oh, and as spirits, that's what they do. So this Saskatchewan Flax Belt, I'm working right now with the expert of Saskatchewan, but I believe he's the expert of Canada. Based on what I've been seeing, I was like, sweet, I'm working with the expert. So I came here and I've been learning about flax. It's some working in the field right now that needs to be turned into money, and that's what I plan to do for the homeless people. I'm going to show us how to make a homeless economy and how we're going to create that and learn how this plant is essential for our well-being and our future. We're going to be breaking it down in a park this summer, homeless friend. And then I'll ask you, you want to come and harvest it for me in the field? I'll pay you. So you keep track of your hours and then I'll reimburse you for your hours. A homeless economy, my friends. People who are willing to work for rewards. For free, rewards. Homeless people do not work for free. By the fruits of your labor, your hands. Exact same thing, homeless brother, sister. I'm creating an economy for us, for our family. So with this flax, we need this plant. Whole countries on the other side, our families, use this back in the good old days. Jesus, Yeshua, used that. Those spirits would not be able to flourish with those disciples without that 100% linen. That's what they were wearing. That's why you're able to see miracles. I'm going to say, okay, you want to see a miracle? Put on that linen. Change your diet. Drink live foods. Drink live water. Now let's see a miracle. That's what you're going to get, my friends. All I want to show you is how food is your medicine. And this linen. So, at the treaty tent at my homeless healing camp, the parameters to get into the treaty tent are this. You have to be wearing 100% linen. 100% to get into the treaty tent. And that's the truth. If you're wearing cotton, wearing anything else, they'll say, get the fuck out. The spirit will. I'm setting the parameters to be able to create healing for the churches. There's also something called the third pull. It is Saturday, not quite Sunday. So I'll just do a little short sermon. The third pull is a prophet He died in 1965. He says there's a third pull, and it was not fulfilled in his time, but be fulfilled in our time. The third pull is the love in the church. If you have love for each other, for humanity, for every color, then there's a pull from the church. The church is the one who destroyed us. Our families hurt us, and you wronged us. And so there's an opportunity for you to fix that. So that way you don't have to look at us and say, we hurt you. And I feel that when I used to go to church. And then when my dad wants to talk, he has so much faith, and then he speaks. And I was feeling what you felt there, friends in church. I felt your shame. I thought, these people love my dad, but there's shame behind there because it's like we did something wrong. And they look at the Bible and they see everything that those priests did to our children. And it's somehow on them because it's their color. But I want to show you how we can fix that, friends. At my homeless healing camp and my volunteers, I'm asking the church for this. And says after this is done, the past is reconciled. It's done. That soil from the past of what you did to our children will be done. And as First Nations people, after we see this, in the spirit world and the human world together, they exist as one, and that's what I want to prove. So I'm going to ask the church. I said our volunteers have to come from the church. I said, send your representative, please. So church, expect my emails soon. Expect my letters soon. Saskatchewan, I'm going to send it to every church. I'm going to say, I want my volunteers to come from your churches, please. As in, I'm sorry for what I did to your people. I says, and afterwards, it is done. Because the spirit world, the spirits that are there at this tent will look and says, and I'm going to give you food that you're going to serve us. The food will be cooked there. It will be healthy. It will be alive. And I'm going to give you instructions on how to serve that food. And in no way am I trying to demean you by telling you this. I'm just telling you what I'm instructed to do. If you want to fix the past, then this is how you fix it. My volunteers, I'm going to ask you to wear 100% linen. I'm going to ask you to have a bath first in that 100% baking soda. Change the state of your water, I'll say. And that food that you serve us when it's coming in and out of the tent, you will only serve the treaty tent. That's it. No one else. The rest can go serve themselves. You're reconciling the past to our grandmothers, our authority now, our government. The spirits will say, those are the government. You respect them and will forget the past and you come join us. Your persecution's about to start there, First Nation, non-First Nation, church, third pull. I'm trying to pull you out of the church. Silently. Come work with me. Come help me. The third pull, the persecution's about to start on the church, friends. And I'm trying to protect you. Those treaties have power. Those treaties can create a nation. Those treaties are going to create a country. And I ask you this, church, to reconcile the past. I'm going to ask you to come and send representatives, a grandmother. And I said, you also send an escapio to that grandmother, and that's our volunteer. I'm going to ask you not to look at us when you serve the food. I says, don't you ever look up when you serve that food. You just serve it and you walk out. You do your thing. She says, it goes to that man, and don't you dare look at him, because that spirit's going to be looking at you. Says, you dare look at us? And that spirit will just look at you. Volunteer from the church. I'm going to tell you, don't you look up at us. And then when it's all done, that spirit will look at you and says, the churches, the volunteers, stand up, please. I said, it is forgiven. It will not be spoken of again, and don't you feel shame when you look at us. It says, you are our brother. And that is what I'm going to send to the church soon. You expect my letter. You expect my invitation. And you send representatives to say, we're sorry for what we did to your children, raping them like that, taking them away from you. The past we will forget when you come volunteer, church. Respect.